Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another fascinating edition of the program, CAC Weekly, a weekly program that keeps you abreast on the activities and achievements of the Corporate Affairs Commission. My name is Rashid Mahi. Coming up, ICSAN confers Fellowship Award on RGCAC. Port Harcourt office promotes business registration at NYNC Orientation Camp. Plus, focus on the company's registration portal, CRP. We will be right back.
Are you a POS operator in Nigeria? Then listen to this announcement.
Registration with Corporate Affairs Commission is mandatory to all sole agent, super agent.
That is why the CAC took steps to make it easy for you. It is now as simple as ABC, with a process designed by the CAC to work seamlessly without taking so much of your time.
These are hard-working CAC staff dedicated to entertain applications from the fintechs through the various APIs granted to them from their respective platform for ease of doing business in Nigeria.
And you can be happy too by trying this simple to use platform. There is, however, a penalty for failure to comply. Banks are mandated to freeze your accounts for operating illegal businesses in Nigeria. There's also a deadline of just 2 months to regularize your POS business. Register now and ensure your business is safe. Visit the CAC website at www.cac.gov.ng. CAC, committed to prompt and efficient service.
Welcome back. The Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, has awarded the Registrar General, CEO of the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, Hussaini Ishaq Magaji, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Honorary Fellowship. ICSAN held its annual dinner and awards on Friday, 13 September 2024 at the MTN Plaza, 1 Awolowo Road, Falomo Roundabout, Ikoyi, Lagos.
Ishaq Magaji SAN was appointed as the 5th Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on October 13, 2023, assuming office on October 16, 2023. Born on August 2, 1982 in Bauchi State, Magaji's education journey began in Jos and continued at Ahmadu Bello University, where he obtained his law degree. He also earned a master's in law from the University of Jos and an MBA from Bayero University in Kano. Called to Nigerian Bar in 2008, Magaji started his career in the Bauchi State Ministry of Justice, eventually rising to the rank of Deputy Director of Public Prosecution. In 2021, he was conferred the prestigious title of Senior Advocate of Nigeria at the age of 37. Magaji transitioned into private legal practice before his CAC appointment, founded his firm, Ishaq Magaji SAN & Co. As CAC Registrar General. Magaji is the first SAN to hold the role overseeing Africa's largest companies registry. Since taking office, he has led initiatives to formalize over 3 million unregistered businesses, particularly in the fintech sector. Under his leadership, CAC operations have incorporated AI, aiming to reduce business registration times to 5 minutes. The CAC app now allows seamless business registration from anywhere in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Hussaini Ishaq Magaji, SAN.
Conferring the award on him, the ICSAN President and Chairman of Council, Mrs. Fumi Kundayo, FCIS, said the Fellowship Award was in recognition of his display of parallel leadership, entrepreneurial, and administrative skills. She added that the Registrar General's enviable commitment to the entrenchment of good governance in Nigeria was equally worthy of applause. Speaking to newsmen shortly after receiving the Fellowship Award, the Registrar General Hussaini Ishaq Magaji, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, fellow Chartered Institute of Secretaries and Administrators, said the award would spur him to continue to offer selfless service towards the growth and development of the CAC and the country in general. Prior to the event, the Governing Council of ICSAN carried out a thorough screening of seasoned administrators, reputable governance professionals, and successful entrepreneurs in the country before selecting the CAC boss and others for the awards.
On behalf of the Governing Council of our Institute, and by virtue of the power conferred on me by the enabling law of our Institute, I, Umi Ekundayo, FCIS, membership number 5506334, tonight, 13th day of September 2024, have the honor and privilege to confer on these great Nigerians the fellowship of our Institute, Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria. Congratulations. To the Registrar General and CEO of the Corporate Affairs Commission. I'm sure for all of us, we know the symbiotic relationship that will exist between ICSAN and the CAC. It's very obvious. Our members have a whole lot to do in their, within the scope of the roles and functions that they perform with the CAC. And I can say that the Lion Seal, Mr. Mogaji Husseini Ishaq, since he stepped into the office, has also been extremely supportive of ICSAN. And we have a number of collaborations also ongoing right now. And we know that we can only continue to improve this relationship with a view to improving the ease of doing business and improving business environment in Nigeria with a view to encouraging investors, both local and international, into our space. So we cherish the relationship between CAC and ICSAN, and in that wise, and in line with other personal achievements, you are being conferred with the fellowship of our institute. So
CAC Weekly reports that ICSAN is the leading recognized professional body in Nigeria dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. It is also the only professional body authorized in Nigeria to conduct the examinations leading to the qualification of chartered secretaries and administrators. We say congratulations to the trailblazing RG in particular and the entire CAC family. Let's now head to Nigeria's oil city of Port Harcourt for our next report. The CAC Port Harcourt office on Thursday, September 12, 2024, made history by staging a sensitization campaign at the NYSC orientation camp, Nongwa Bam, Thai River State. The move was to give vigor to the desire of the Registrar General, Husseini Ishaq Magaji, to formalize millions of informal businesses or economic growth in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's agenda. Mr. Emmanuel Enyang, Deputy Director and Nodal Head of the CAC Port Harcourt office, led a team to sensitize the teeming crowd assembled at the Nyesom Wiki Auditorium. During the event, attended by several MSMEs along with representatives from government agencies, several names were submitted for searches and consequent registration. CAC Weekly reports that the Emmanuel Enyang-led Port Harcourt office is already planning an on-the-spot registration during a workshop slated to take place soon. And moving on, let's now cross over to our interview segment. Are you a frequent user of the company's registration portal, CRP? Or are you interested in knowing its dynamics? Please join Mr. Obeta Ambrose Chinweke, Director of Information and Communication Technology, as he x-rays operations of the company's registration portal, CRP. Sit back, relax, and enjoy watching.
Mr. Ambrose Chinweke Obeta, I'm Director, ICT and Communication Department. Many thanks for joining us again on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the CRP, that's the company registration portal, which was introduced in 2021. Now, 3 years down the line, the journey so far, so good.
Thank you very much. The journey has been most interesting, and we thank God for the milestones that we have been able to achieve in the last 3 years using the company, the CRP, okay, so Company Registration Portal, as it were. The commission has been taken to another level, and we're happy that our customers are applauding the milestones that we're able to achieve thus far.
What are some of the updates that you will want viewers, to know as far as the CBRP is concerned?
Once again, thank you. Digitization is a process.
Yes, because I know that 3 years is a journey, and there will be so many issues in these 3 years.
Yes, exactly. When we started in 2021, it wasn't all the processes that are actually digitized. But along the line, we onboarded many more processes. More processes came on board, and today, over 99% of all the processes for registration of entities in the commission are online. Yes, that I can assure you. And but most recently, we've been able to upgrade the application, especially to make it much more accessible and efficient, and also help user experience to be that will every person that uses our application will be able to say, yes, this is an organization that is fully computerized. So apart from the upgrade of the system resources, we are able to upgrade our system in such a way that we have integration with so many other government agencies. One of them is Ministry of Finance. That's after the first entities that organizations are able to integrate with us between 2021 and 2022. Many more are integrated and via an application programming interface, API. So there's exchange of data between us and those organizations.
Okay.
So such that you don't have duplication of data by various, databases in silos in different organizations.
Okay.
So that has been achieved. And so very recently too, companies can now file their audited accounts online without having to come with hard copies of the audited accounts as it were in the past.
That's fine.
So that is in place now. So call it electronic filing system. It's integrated in our CRP, Company Registration Portal. So, but most importantly, in compliance with the requirements of Company and Allied Matters Act 2020, especially Section 127, our portal has been upgraded in such a way that there's a merger between filing of increase in share capital and allotment of shares pursuant to that provision of the law. So instead of a company coming to file for increase in shares and then thereafter come back to file for allotment of shares, both processes will have merged just to comply with the requirement of the law. Besides that too, recently, all the entities that are registrable in the commission come with tax identification number now, otherwise known as TIN. In the past, it was just the companies limited by shares that have tax identification numbers.
Okay.
But now it cuts across all the entities, whether it's companies limited by shares, whether it is business names, incorporated trustees, limited partnership, and limited liability partnership. They each have tax identification number now. Okay. So it's another innovation that's come up in recent time. We know that sometimes you could have system glitch.
Gotcha.
And when there's a system glitch, customers ordinarily whose certificates do not come with tax identification number, we have to write back to CAC to inform us that their certificates were skipped. There was a skip of TIN during the registration for their certificates. So that process has been automated now, such that if a customer notices that, he can on his own generate the TIN on his platform. So you don't have to write CAC or come back to CAC anymore.
Okay.
So that's an innovation that has also been introduced in recent time.
Okay. Do all these innovations attract a fee?
No, certainly no.
Okay.
No,
so
no, they
free
don't
of
come to
charge.
the fees that have always been there, especially for filing of increase in share capital and allotment is still what is maintained.
How easy are they, this new innovation? How easy are they for customers to access?
Oh, very, very easy. It's still on the portal, especially on the landing page of the portal. So you can find it there, and it's seamless. In fact, it makes the job much easier even because in the past, you have to go through the process of filing shares, increase in share capital, and then come back to do allotment. But on the single form, both are achieved.
Okay.
So,
all right. So let's go to the customers themselves. While on this program, a lot of people send us comments, and questions as regards the CRP, and the complaint is it's been slow and people don't get their certificate in 24 hours. The second one is the post registration, and the other one is people having problem making their payments. So I don't know, maybe you're going to take it one after the other. The slowness, is it true that today people, the commissioner said in 24 hours you should be able to get your certificate? Can people get their certificate in 24 hours after registration?
it's achievable, and we've been achieving that.
So what happened?
The promises that the commission made is when the customer has complied with all the requirements. In other words, if there's no need to query the application, you have complied with all the requirements, and there's a seamless submission of your application, you'll get it within 24 hours. But if the customer fails to comply, the likelihood is that the application will be queried. And once it is queried, the onus is now on the customer to comply. In that case, you won't get it within 24 hours.
Okay.
Most likely, you won't get it within 24 hours. But if you have followed all the rules
Okay.
and you have complied with all the requirements, certainly within 24 hours, all things being equal, you get your certificate.
Okay, so the next one is the post-registration. A lot of customers are finding it difficult to do that on the portal.
Well, what has happened is that we've tried to make the portal as user-friendly as possible or practicable. But there's a knowledge gap somewhere.
And who is responsible for the knowledge gap?
Well, the knowledge gap, especially on the part of customers, who tried to create a bridge. When we first launched CRP in 2021, we went around 36 states of the Federation to train customers. We had customer fora, and on each of those occasions, we also tried to train customers. We had some recessions at MBA conferences, real time for customers. So we've tried on our part, but training is a continuous process. It's not a one-off event. And each time, from time to time, we create that forum for customers to get abreast again with innovations that are coming up. But the customers have a duty also on their part to be IT savvy, in the sense that you don't wait for the commission to train you on all areas of IT. For instance, if you go to your device and maybe the network sign is disconnected, it's not the duty of CAC to teach you to know that, you don't have internet on your system. The customer ought to know that, or should be able to train himself herself to get to know some of those dynamics. But on our part as a commission, we've been doing the best we can to make sure that once we introduce new changes, the customers are carried along too. Unfortunately, and this is one area that I think the customers are not doing very, very well. Each time we come with an innovation, we also try to give a guide. But most of the customers, or some, will just run to begin the process
Without reading
without going through the guide.
and understanding the guide.
Yeah, exactly. So it's when they run into problems, they now start complaining. But the idea was for you to first of all go through the user guide and understand the process that is involved before you go ahead to for real life for testing of the application we want to file.
Okay. So what about those who want to upload, receipt of their payment or details of their payment, and they're finding it difficult?
Yes. Now, what we need to understand something. The online process has some dependencies.
Okay.
Yes, every network has some dependencies. There are some that are within our
Your control.
control. Some are within our control, others are not within our control. For instance, all payments are made through remitter. Okay, that's the government directive. Now, all those payments are made through remitter. We don't have other options for payments. So if by chance, for instance, remitter is down, all right, the customers will have a challenge with a payment. All that we need to do here as a commission is to make sure we reach out to remitter to say, please, do something about your interface so that our customers will not have the kind of challenges they're having. Because it also impacts on us. Because once that payment gateway is down, customers are not able to make payments, and it also affects our processes here. So we try as much as we can to reach out to those that have some integrations with, to ensure that once our system is up and running, theirs is also up and running, so that there will be that seamless integration.
Isn't it high time for the Commission and remitter to have an understanding or a collaboration as far as payment is concerned, so that when customers pay, it reflects almost immediately?
No, it does.
Okay, or that people don't have challenge, because sometimes it can be very discouraging.
No.
The Commission needs money, isn't it?
Yes, it does.
And then when remitter refuses to allow people to pay or holds back payment.
Yes. Let me be frank with you.
Okay.
There's hardly any network that will achieve 100% uptime. You can think about maybe 99.9% uptime.
Okay.
So from time to time, you have some glitches. But that margin is what we're saying should be very minimal. You understand?
Okay.
It should be very minimal, so that
A margin of 1 day, 2 days?
no, it shouldn't even be up to, it shouldn't be even in hours.
Okay.
We shouldn't
Should
even
be
talk-
minutes.
seconds, even ordinary, or minutes
Okay.
at most. It all depends on the magnitude of the glitch.
Mr. Ambrose Chinweke Obeta, Director ICT, many thanks for your time as always.
Thank you very much for.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that informative segment, Mr. Obeta. Now take a look at this message on the importance of the PSC filing straight from the desk of the Registrar General.
Did you know that it is now mandatory by law for companies to declare all persons with significant control of ownership of company to the Corporate Affairs Commission (CAC)? Listen to the Registrar General of the CAC.
By the extant regulation in Nigeria, the identity of the person behind any company must be disclosed.
By virtue of Section 119 and 791 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act of 2020 and the Person with Significant Control Regulations of 2022, the law aims to enhance transparency in corporate ownership across Nigeria.
Any person or any individual with ultimate power or with 5% interest holding must disclose his identity.
Under this law, any company that fails to disclose the beneficial owner of its company or the ultimate person in the company who has influence either directly or indirectly, or the person with 5% shareholding and above or voting rights may face serious consequences.
The law required that any person who assumed that position must disclose that position to that company within 7 days. And the company must communicate same and file same to the Corporate Affairs Commission within 30 days.
The identity of the beneficial owner must be a name of a natural person. Failure to comply attracts daily penalties imposed by law.
If it is a natural person, it attracts 5,000 daily from the date of breach. But if it is a unnatural person, it requires 10,000 from the day of the breach to the day of compliance, and it also attracts administrative penalties by the Corporate Affairs Commission.
The CAC reserves the right to refuse to receive any filings from any non-compliant company or even to list the company from its register. For more details, check the Person with Significant Control website at bor.cac.gov.ng or visit the Corporate Affairs Commission's official website at www.cac.gov.ng. CAC, committed to prompt and efficient service.
Wow, that was an excellent delivery there by the RG. And now, do you know that by the provisions of Section 421, subsection 1 of CAMA 2020, the annual return of a company limited by shares or guarantee or unlimited shall be completed, signed and delivered to the Corporate Affairs Commission not later than 42 days after the annual general meeting for the year? So have you updated your records with the CAC? Well done if you have. And if you have yet to do that, please hurry now to www.csc.gov.ng to file your return to avoid being struck off. The CAC remains committed to working hard to provide prompt and efficient service to customers in line with global best practices. And that does it for this week's edition of the program CAC Weekly. We do hope you enjoyed watching. For comments and inquiries, please take advantage of our social media handles and helpline. On Instagram is Corporate Affairs Commission. On Facebook is Corporate Affairs Commission. On X, formerly Twitter, is at CAC Nigeria 1. Our email is cservice@cac.gov.ng and the website address is www.cac.gov.ng. And the call center number remains 070-8062-9000. Do join us next week for another interesting edition of the program, same time, same station. From me, Rashid Mahe, and the whole team, is bye for now.